Greenline Analysis and Framework by Ed, Jane, Elvis and Yunmiao. So what is the Greenline project? The Greenline project in Melbourne is a sustainable urban initiative aiming to create a continuous corridor of green spaces and walking trails, connecting parks, gardens and recreational areas throughout the city. It seeks to enhance biodiversity and promote active lifestyles along the Yarra River, while still respecting and acknowledging Indigenous Australian history. The Yarra River is one of the most iconic landscape elements of the Melbourne CBD. Flowing through the city, it provides a picturesque waterfront experience lined with famous landmarks, a multitude of food and bar options, live performers, park spaces, and popular events. For both tourists and locals alike, its bustling CBD South Bank brings opportunities for leisure activities, cultural exploration, and social gatherings. However, it doesn't take a trained eye to see that the river's North Bank is falling behind. In this video, our analysis of the North Bank in regard to its lack of activity will be explored through the lens of ecology, connection, and the built environment. From there, our proposed framework for the redevelopment of the Greenline will be explained. With the objective of increasing activity levels and diversifying activity types along the North Bank, we thought that an analysis on its existing activity conditions in comparison to the South Bank will be beneficial towards helping us explore ways we can achieve that objective. The comparison criteria used is types of activity and density of activity. Three main types of activity identified is dining establishments, public gathering areas, and recreation. Our observations showed that there is a significant difference in activity level between the North and South Banks, especially where the Falls Precinct is concerned. In addition, in comparison to the Birrarung Ma Precinct, our dedicated precinct study area, the Falls Precinct sees a lack of infrastructure, minimal daytime activity and nightlife, poor pedestrian accessibility and no entertainment or dining establishments, hence deterring social activity. Comparatively, the Birrarung Ma Precinct attracts vibrant social activity with dedicated recreational facilities and safe accessibility, making it the precinct with the highest activity density along the North Bank of the Melbourne Greenline. Through our findings, we believe there is much opportunity to revitalise the North Bank by increasing activity levels in all precincts, with emphasis in the Falls Precinct and Enterprise Park. But how can we do that? Our first reasoning for why the North Bank is lacking in activity is its ecology. To understand why this may be the case, an ecological analysis on the Greenline was performed in three different scales. Firstly, an analysis of the major green spaces in and around the neighbouring areas of the Melbourne CBD. From this, it is apparent that excluding areas east of the Melbourne CBD, the city and particularly the Greenline are greatly lacking in major green spaces. Secondly, an analysis of the River Park and Falls precincts, highlighting the tree canopies in these areas. From this analysis, we came to the understanding that the large majority of trees in these precincts are street lining trees, not trees which are contributing to a park or an ecologically vibrant space. Finally, a species diversity analysis in Enterprise Park and the Falls precinct. This analysis revealed a lack of dense and diverse planting. With only 20 trees planted within Enterprise Park and only 2 species of trees in that set, it was evident to us that the ecological situation in Enterprise Park leaves much room for improvement. Furthermore, these ecological characteristics may contribute to the low levels of social activity occurring along the North Bank of the Greenline, and thus will be addressed in our proposed design. Our next analysis was on the built environment along the Greenline. When comparing the function of the buildings along the North Bank to the buildings along the South Bank, some very clear differences can be seen. The South Bank of the Greenline is well known for its role as a business and entertainment centre for the Melbourne CBD, filled with buildings designed specifically for entertaining the masses. With the Crown Complex, the Convention and Exhibition Centre and Haoming Hall, it's no surprise that the South Bank sees extensive amounts of social activity. On the other hand, the North Bank focuses more on buildings with cultural, historical and educational purposes. For example, the Immigration Museum, Victoria University and the Melbourne Aquarium. These buildings act more as places to learn rather than spaces for social activity, and hence may be a factor for the lower amounts of social activity on the north bank of the Greenline. When visiting the Greenline, the lack of connection along the north bank is very apparent. Lacking continuous pathways along the riverfront, the north bank experience can be confusing and even dangerous at times when having to cross busy roads. This analysis map shows the traffic routes, flow of people, and how different areas are well linked or have a lack of links. This poor connection along the north bank can again lead back into the analysis of these areas having poorer rates of activity when compared to the better connected south bank, thus resulting in connection being a key part of both the official Greenline redevelopment plan and our proposed open space framework. After multiple site visits, numerous hours spent at the Greenline, and our multifaceted analysis, as a group we settled on our proposed plan to redevelop the north bank of the Melbourne Greenline with the main objective of getting more people to the sites through increasing opportunities for social activities. With the majority of our site visits occurring at Enterprise Park, we opted to use the park as a blueprint for other spaces along the Greenline. In contrast to the commercial nature of recreation and activity that occurs along the south bank, our goal for the north bank is to increase the prevalence of free recreational activities. To achieve this, we referred back to our analysis. Through better ecology and connection to nature, a better built environment made specifically for free activities, and a better means of travelling through sites and to other sites, we hope to promote the more popular use of our site. This drawing illustrates how we may aim to increase use of the space by creating a more curated, diverse and dense ecological environment. With more attractive and interesting flora, desire pathways and social seating, the new Enterprise Park should draw in more users than the current relatively empty space of short-cut grass does. This idea of pocket parks is not unexplored whatsoever, with successful examples including Greenacre Park in New York City and the Nalal Mehta Garden in Mumbai. Next, our plan for developing the built environment. Following our idea of free recreation, our goal is to create spaces which can foster said activities. Playgrounds, basketball courts, skate parks and small-scale soccer pitches can provide a great opportunity for free, organised or spontaneous activity and will attract visitors from all over the city. For example, the skate bowl at Bondi Beach or the multiple basketball courts littered around New York City. In this perspective, a playground for children is drawn, along with pedestrian bridges allowing interesting circulation throughout the site.